Congratulations! You are thinking about prepping for finals. This is great because it means that you have made it all the way through a semester and you're ready for finals. Finally! I am here to give you some tactics and strategies for planning a successful finals week. I'll cover how to get the information you need, how to organize it, planning backwards, and interleaving. Let's get started. So first, if you can, start planning 2 weeks out. Phase 1 of this planning process is gathering all of the information. So that means finding out when the final is, what is on the final, what percentage of your grade the final will count for, and what type of exam the final is. So you can find this out in several ways. 1, talk to your professor or your TA. I know this seems a little weird, but they like that actually. That's what they're there for. Set up a meeting with them, send them an email, show up to office hours, talk to them about this. Next, talk to someone who's taken the class recently, preferably very recently, from the exact same professor. Also, check the syllabus. The what? Friends, the syllabus is your new bestie. You laughed at it in high school, learned to love it in college. Check the syllabus for several things. When is the exam? What will be on the exam? Take note of chapters, themes, concepts, and vocab. What type of exam is it? Is it open book, multiple choice, short answer? That's going to inform the way you study. Is it cumulative? Yes. Pull out everything from the entire semester. Quizzes, tests, notes, handouts, PowerPoints. You're going to need all of it to study for the final. No, it's not cumulative? Great. Take everything from the midterm and before that, put it in a lovely little pile, and you can put it in a folder or put it in a nice little pile on the floor next to your desk. You only need this if there's a new concept that reverts back to an old concept that you don't understand and you need to reference. Otherwise, just keep it there for insurance sake. Last, check what percentage the final is towards your final grade. Is it 25%? 30%? That's going to help me gauge how much energy, attention, and effort I'm going to put towards studying for this final. So for example, if a final is worth 25 or 30% of my grade, I am really going to focus on getting the best grade possible I can, as opposed to a final that is maybe 5% of my grade. Hear me out. I'm still going to study both, but I'm going to spend my attention wisely. As you check the syllabus, see if there is a review sheet for the final. Review sheets are key. So in their book, Learning Outside the Lines, David Cole and Jonathan Mooney give the tip. Look for anything that appears to be a broad categorical statement concerning the content of the exam. For example, you will be expected to have reviewed all. They also say you are specifically looking for words like themes, terms, concepts, arguments, and theories. Those will be in close proximity to words like expected, evaluate, demonstrate, and communicate. These will be really good clues to find out what's on the exam and how to study for it. To help you organize this information, I've created a final planning sheet. So you can download that at greendoorlearning.com for free, or you can make your own. I'll show you how next. Okay, so this is if your printer is out of ink and your Wi-Fi is down and you can't get to greendoorlearning.com to download a final class planning sheet, you do this. So I drew 2 lines horizontally, I drew 2 lines vertically, and I wrote class and date of final. You will do this for each class. So this class that I'm planning for is anthropology. And the date of the final is Tuesday. I'm aware that Tuesday is not an actual date, but for our purposes, you get it. Now, title these 3 sections: materials learned and materials to review. This section is how long. How long are you going to give yourself to review or learn each section? This section is the exam type. The exam type is what we talked about before. Is it multiple choice, short answer, true, false? Is it cumulative? Is it essay? This is something that will help you study. So make note of this here. Now, you've talked to your professor, you've studied the syllabus, and you know what is on this exam. So for this anthropology class, I am going to pay particular attention to chapters, concepts, themes, and terms. I have learned that chapters 7, 9, 11 plus the vocab are going to be really important. I've also learned chapter 8 is going to be on it, and I need to review that. I've also learned theory of culture is going to be something I need to know. Last, race, culture, and state institutions are going to be discussed. Now, I jump over here. I'm going to give myself 2 hours to learn all this. Chapter 8, I just need to review. That's 30 minutes. Theory of culture. I have no idea what that is. I need to spend some time on that. This I know is complicated. I'm also going to give myself 2 hours. Last, total this up. So right now I'm studying for anthropology for a total of 6 hours and 30 minutes. Now, whenever you're not sure about something, and really just as a general safeguard, add an hour of studying. That brings me to a total of 7 hours and 30 minutes to feel really good walking into my anthropology final. And that's how you complete a final class planning sheet. Now it's time for phase 2. Once you know what is on the final, you need to make a plan. Fill out a weekly calendar for the week of finals week. Have a plan for literally every hour of that week. You should use whatever type of calendar works for you. You can draw out a calendar on paper. You can use a paper planner. You can use iCal, Google Cal, whatever. But you must make a weekly calendar. Now, before you start to fill in your calendar, hold on. I have some things to show you. I have 2 strategies for you: interleaving and planning backward. Let's start with planning backward. That means you start from the date of your final and work backward each day, planning as you go. You don't start planning from today and predict what you want to do towards your final. Work backwards. Next, you determine the hours you're going to study and the type of studying you're going to do by using the planning sheet we just filled out. So you will also, in your weekly calendar, as you plan backwards, fill in when you're going to sleep, when you're going to eat, when you're going to work out, when you're going to study sessions, and when you will take legitimate breaks. The next strategy is interleaving. Can you study something for 3 hours? Really? If you can't, and probably you can't, then interleaving is a really good concept to know about. So this allows you to keep being productive, but you do it by switching between tasks or topics. You don't stop and take breaks. So you study vocab for psychology for 30 minutes, study the theory of culture for anthropology for 40 minutes, then go back and review your vocab for 20 minutes. You studied for an hour and a half, but you didn't just study anthropology for an hour and a half. You didn't get overwhelmed and you didn't get bored. So interleaving is a really good strategy to know about. It lets you keep going and it lets you put off burnout. Next, as you study, think about review, self-test, repeat. That's really all I'm going to say about that here. If you're confused or concerned about how to study, go ahead and watch the video called How the Bleep Do I Study? Now, you know about planning backwards and you know about interleaving, but let's put them into practice. So, when you fill out your calendar, I want you to plan backwards. Here's how we do that. So here we have an example of how to plan for finals week. And we are going to demonstrate using planning backward or backward planning and interleaving. So we've done our class planning sheet and we realized that we need to study for anthropology about 7 hours and 30 minutes, math 9 hours, and psych 6 hours. That's right, anthropology, math, and psychology. It's been a really awesome semester. So first thing I do, put in the finals. Anthropology is on Tuesday at 9, math is on Thursday at 9, and psych is on Thursday at 3. And that is the first thing that goes in. Next, you are going to add in when you want to eat and sleep and work out. So for my anthropology final, it's a 10-minute walk to class. I'm not really good at getting up very early, so I'm not like a 6 a.m. person. So I'm going to wake up at 8, eat, go. I think that's feasible. I have a lunch date with my friend Marnie on Monday that I cannot move. It's really important. I like to work out and take a class on Mondays at 5, so I'm going to keep that. And I usually have dinner after that. So I'm going to keep dinner consistent. I'm going to keep that workout class consistent. And I'm going to keep lunch consistent as well. And then I'm going to wake up at 8 because I have that math final at 9. And then I'm going to wake up at 8 on Wednesday just to stay in the zone. On Monday, I'm going to sleep in a little bit and I'm going to wake up at 10. And on Thursday, I am done. I am not planning anything after that. So phase 2, you add in when you're going to eat, when you're going to sleep, when you're going to work out, and if there's any kind of important, immovable things in your week. Now you are ready to start planning in earnest. So anthropology is my first final. That's what I'm going to plan for first. And I'm going to ask myself, what do I want to be doing the night before? So I do not want to be up late if I can help it. I'm going to try to stop studying at 9 o'clock and go to bed. And not go to bed at 9, but just begin to kind of relax and unwind at 9. So that means 7 o'clock after dinner, I'm just going to head to a coffee shop. and I'm going to spend the bulk of my day at the library. So here I included an example of interleaving so you can see how that works. 30 minutes, I'm going to study vocab. 30 minutes, I'm going to study Maslow. 45 minutes, I'm going to study Piaget. Now I'm going to double back. 15 vocab, 15 Piaget, 15 Maslow. I recommend that you don't set up your interleaving this much in advance. I recommend when you sit down at the library, you write down what you're going to accomplish and you practice that skill. So I'm also going to make sure to add in my math review sessions and study sessions, which are mandatory for this class. So they are here and here. All right, here we go. We keep moving on. Now, I have anthropology planned for. I have my math study sessions in. So remember what we do is we take the next most final deadline and we ask ourselves, what do we want to be doing the morning of or the night before? So math, the night before I want to be studying. I want to try to get to bed at a decent hour. So at 9 o'clock, I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to start to relax. But I'm going to study right before that. I'm going to keep my dinner. I'm going to keep my workout. Psych. What do I want to be doing? I want to get to class early and review my notes. I definitely want to make sure I have lunch. And I want to review also for an hour before lunch. Can I review during lunch? Sure, if I'm really not feeling good about what's happening. But you've built in some breaks for yourself. And then for sure, after that math final, I'm going to relax. Ooh, we're almost there. So we have psych planned for the day. We have math planned for the day before. Now we're going to add in Wednesday. So I'm studying math before dinner and before or after dinner and after my workout. I'm going to do psych before. And then I'm going to do math. I'm going to remind myself that I want to go to the library for that. And then I'm going to get up and I'm going to do psych, math, and then that's the review session. So this is also an example of interleaving. I'm going to study psychology, then I'm going to switch to math, but I'm going to stay at the coffee shop and I'm going to stay studying. So we're making some good progress. Last, Thursday is planned. Wednesday is planned. Tuesday, all I need to do is fill in everything. So I'm definitely going to study math before bed because I'm the most nervous about that one. I'm also going to study psychology right before that, practice some interleaving. I have that study group. And then if I don't study early in my day, I won't do it. So after that final, I'm going to relax, give myself an hour to breathe, go to the coffee shop and study some math. Have lunch, study psychology, and then guess what happened? I have 6 hours and I have 9 hours. So I could take a 2-hour break and meet up with friends. I could also, if something has come up and I realize there's a whole extra chapter that I didn't study for psychology or math, I can cut this short. But I've built in some breathing room that now I can use if I need to. So I did it. My week is planned out. Every hour is accounted for from the time I start studying for finals to the time I finish finals. Then I'm going to be done. Thursday night, I'm going to hang out. And Friday, I'm going to do laundry, pack, and catch my flight. You did it. You planned for finals week. One last thing. In the novel The Odyssey, Odysseus makes this really long journey home to his home. And on the way, he passes the sirens. They look great and fun, and they seem to make this really beautiful music, and they drown sailors by singing to them that they should just jump into the ocean or they should crash their boat on some rocks because they know about this really great party that everyone is going to tonight. Whenever you embark on a journey in life, the sirens will appear. Maybe it's your roommate who happens to suddenly come into these amazing concert tickets. Maybe it's that guy or girl that you really wanted to talk to and they suddenly text you to find out what's up. Or maybe it's that friend down the hall who is having a crisis that is very different than last week's crisis. These are all sirens. You have finals to study for. Thank these people and send them on their way. It means you're on the right track. That's when the sirens show up. So, to review, find out when the final is going to be and what's on it. Fill out a planning sheet for each class. Make a calendar for the week of finals. Every hour is accounted for. Work backwards, practice interleaving, and beware of the siren song. Go get 'em!